All hail the Queen of the Monsters. Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're exploring the origins of one of the big screen's most iconic monsters, the colossal insect deity known as Mothra.
Mothra, Queen of the Monsters.
While she starred in a number of solo movies, Mothra is closely associated with the Godzilla franchise, having appeared in numerous films alongside the iconic kaiju as a nemesis or ally. While her origins are light on details, they have frequently changed over the years with the changing eras of films. Mothra was first introduced on screen in the 1961 film of the same name, which reunited many of the cast and crew of the original Godzilla movie, including director Ishiro Honda and effects legend Eiji Tsuburaya. Though penned by screenwriter Shinichi Sekizawa, a prolific screenwriter for Toho Studios, the movie was based on the novel The Luminous Fairies and Mothra, written by Takehiko Fukunaga, Shinichiro Nakamura, and Yoshie Hotta. While previous giant monsters like Godzilla and Rodan were presented as atomic age mutants and dinosaurs, Mothra broke from the norm by being a supernatural entity, a goddess worshipped by an ancient civilization on the remote Infant Island. In the book, this civilization is made up of multiple fairies. In the film, the civilization is populated with humans cut off from the outside world. However, the fairies do remain in the film series as an iconic staple alongside Mothra, the Shobijin, which means small beauties in Japanese. These dual-minded twins are able to summon their goddess Mothra through their singing over vast distances, or act as her interpreter for humanity. But despite her title as an ancient goddess, Mothra is not immortal. Instead, her life cycle is part of the Lepidoptera family of insects, starting off as a massive larva before eventually spinning a silken cocoon to undergo a metamorphosis into the giant moth we all know. Once in her moth form, she's then able to lay an egg without a mate to begin the cycle all over again. Although in some, but not all film eras, the egg requires the singing from the Shobijin in order to hatch, and they only do so if the current Mothra is in danger or has died, which would explain why there aren't hundreds of giant moths flying around. Mothra's debut film begins when a joint expedition between Japan and the fictional nation of Rolisica discover a secluded island that's been contaminated by atomic testing. They discover the diminutive Shobijin, as well as the giant egg that they and the islanders worship as the goddess Mothra. But the greedy leader of the expedition, the Rolisican Kent Nelson, kidnaps the Shobijin and forces them to perform in a stage show. The Shobijin sing to Mothra, prompting the egg to hatch as a giant larva and head to the Rolisican city of Newkirk. She then goes through her metamorphosis to become a moth downtown, and upon emerging, begins to attack the city before the Shobijin are rescued. Mothra's next appearance was her first meeting with Godzilla in 1964's Mothra vs. Godzilla. In this entry, Mothra's egg is swept into the ocean when a typhoon hits Infant Island, and then it resurfaces off the coast of a Japanese village. Once brought ashore, a greedy businessman purchases the egg and plans to use it as the star attraction in an amusement park. Godzilla, however, is also drawn to the egg and is heading in its direction. Thus, Mothra engages the king of the monsters to save her offspring. In battle, Mothra is killed by the iconic monster, though the Shobijin are able to hatch her egg, allowing for twin larvae to emerge. They in turn engage Godzilla and avenge their mother. Just 6 months later, the two buried the hatchet in Ghidorah the three-headed monster. In this entry, one of the larvae helps unite Godzilla and Rodan to battle the three-headed space dragon King Ghidorah. This film cemented Mothra's role as an ally to Godzilla, a trend that continued until the Showa series of films ended in 1975. With the launch of the Heisei era of Godzilla films, 1992's Godzilla vs. Mothra saw her origins overhauled. The Shobijin are known as the Cosmos in this era, and they explain that Mothra was the guardian of an ancient civilization that existed 12,000 years ago. But when the humans created a device that could control the Earth's climate, the planet itself retaliated by creating an evil version of Mothra known as Batra, who not only destroyed the device, but in his bloodthirsty rampage, also wiped out the civilization that created it. In their battle, Mothra defeated Batra and sealed him away in the ocean. Over a long series of events, Mothra, Batra, and Godzilla eventually engage in a three-way battle against each other in the film's climax, although Mothra and the cosmos are able to commune with Batra, allowing them to team up against Godzilla. To stop his rampage, the two carry the giant lizard away from the city, but Batra is mortally wounded by Godzilla and dies, dropping him into the ocean. Mothra then learns that Batra had actually reawoken to stop a large meteor that would impact Earth in the future, and thus the film ends with Mothra leaving the planet to fulfill Batra's duty. Mothra then appeared in a trio of solo films called the Rebirth of Mothra trilogy. While her origins are similar to her original films, aside from the ability to spawn miniature Mothras, it's the Shobijin who got a major overhaul. Here, they're referred to as the Elias, and unlike the shared mind duality of previous films, they each have their own separate personality. They also have a third and evil sister, though that's a story for another day. Here's where things get a bit more complicated. The Millennium era of Godzilla films saw every monster's origins completely rebooted, sometimes on multiple occasions. The most dramatic of changes happened in 2001's annoyingly long-winded title of a film, Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All-Out Attack. In this film, Mothra is one of a trio of ancient guardian monsters that are reawakened to defeat an evil incarnation of Godzilla. The other guardians are Baragon and King Ghidorah, who in this film is a good guy. Mothra made her next appearance in 2003's Godzilla Tokyo SOS, where her story is a direct continuation to her 1961 solo film, ignoring any films after that. In this film, she's upset that the bones of the 1954 original Godzilla had been used to create a new iteration of Mechagodzilla called Kiryu. She demands that his bones be returned to the ocean, or she will reluctantly be forced to declare war on humanity. If that sounds absurd, believe us when we say that is only the surface of this convoluted plot. Mothra perishes once again, this time sacrificing herself to save her twin larvae who have already hatched. She appeared in the following film, Godzilla Final War. Here, the Shobijin explained that thousands of years prior, Mothra defeated the alien monster Gigan in combat. After Gigan is revived over the course of the film, Mothra appears in the climax to ally with Godzilla in a fight against Gigan and Monster X. Sadly, Gigan gets the upper hand and sets her ablaze, but in one last-ditch effort, the giant burning moth is able to take Gigan down with her. And that brings us to legendary pictures. Godzilla King of the Monsters, in which her magical origins are downplayed in favor of presenting her as one of numerous titans, ancient superspecies from Earth's distant past. Her egg is found within an ancient temple in China, which is adorned with various moth engravings. And while the Shobijin are not present in the film, their role is heavily foreshadowed to be taken up by twin doctors, Eileen and Ling Chen. During the film's climax, Mothra teams up once again with Godzilla against the duo of King Ghidorah and Rodan. This time, she gets the upper hand against Rodan thanks to a new stinger. But ultimately, she sacrifices herself to save Godzilla, though not before giving him one hell of a power boost. However, the film's credit sequence shows that another Mothra egg has been found, possibly leading to her return in the upcoming Godzilla vs. Kong in 2020.
We'll take it.
Not quite at the end yet. Almost there though. Just be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. Alright, back to business. In the nearly 60 years since her first appearance, Mothra has risen to become one of the most iconic monsters of the kaiju genre, and established a recurring role as a protector of Earth and her people. This has frequently brought her into conflict with the King of the Monsters, but the two have patched up their differences enough to be considered the monster world's #1 power couple. Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.